What's good? It's your boy Flame back here with another video. Look guys, a little bit of a touchy subject. It's touchy because, you know, it's a video involving a potential change to all of our truckers, if you were a trucker, our livelihood. So today we're going to be kind of just talking about the reality within our market today. Now, it already has been a pretty crappy market to my understanding ever since 2020. Quick little backstory on that. 2020, obviously COVID, a lot of ups and downs, but initially a lot of drivers were leaving, right? And there was a high demand for basic commodities. So the few drivers that were left, they were making bank. I mean, I talked to my mentor, I talked to a couple of other people, and they talk about, you know how people from the 90s, they talk about the 90s like it was the golden era of just life. That's basically what the COVID era was to the truckers, right? People got wind of that back in the day, and I remember seeing it. Everybody was getting their CDL, everybody was buying a truck, everybody was getting authority. And I'm talking, I think it's like over 100,000 authorities hit the market. And ever since then, there's just been so many trucks on the road. I don't know what truck parking was like, pre-COVID, but there's no parking past 5 p.m. And you know, that's just a small implication, but obviously there's just not enough freight to go around. I mean, there is enough freight to go around, but not for the rates that people are wanting to run them at. So, you know, these companies are not dumb, they're business minded, and you know, they lowball us, but yeah, it's just been spotty. But you know, ever since the COVID era, there has not been a super huge decline in freight itself. It's just that, you know, the rates have plummeted because there's so many drivers out here and there's just so much capacity, right? But now, fast forward to 2025, there's another hiccup in the road, which is these tariffs. Effects really yet to be seen, but there definitely is going to be some. So I got a couple of videos from people within the trucking industry. We're gonna watch them, kind of react to them and see just what we can kind of take out of it. Because if you don't know, I work for Swift, which is a mega carrier, so my experience has not been the same. Actually, I've been running a little bit more frequently, and I'm going to get into all that, but let's go ahead and get into these videos.
First week for the trucking industry. I'm actually sitting in Seattle, Washington right now without a load. I dropped my load 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's already 1 o'clock that I'm sitting here waiting for the load. A lot of people been asking me, does it gonna get fixed? Is it gonna get better? I have happen, because day by day it's getting worse and worse. I have no clue. I haven't seen trucking industry like this in the past 10 years. This is the worst year for the trucking industry. Worst year. And when I came to a truck stop, I reserved a shower. There were 23 people in front of me in the line. 23 people. It's been 4 hours I'm waiting for the shower, and they still 3 people ahead of me still. So you can imagine that how many people are sitting at this truck stop without a load. All the truck drivers, we have nothing else to do besides taking shower all day. Pray for everybody. Stay safe.
It's funny, but yeah, that's a real concern. I mean, there's no really concrete way to tell how much of that is actually caused from the tariffs. Obviously, truck stops are like that. 23 is crazy though. 23 people in line, that's bad. But yeah, he said he's been doing it for 10 years, so obviously he's noticing a difference. So, you know, that's unfortunate. But he said he's in Seattle. I've never been to Seattle in the truck ever, so you know, I don't know what the market is like usually up there, but yeah, praise for him.
What's going on, drivers? So with all these cheap ass loads on the board, how are you covering them? I mean, how are you actually hauling them and making a profit on it? Because I don't see it. I mean, at $2.50 a mile, and with your insurance, wear and tear, your maintenance, fuel, there's no money to be made. Let that shit sit there. It ain't gonna move. Let them come up on their rates. I don't care if it's the broker or the broker saying it's the customer that it's the cheap shit, but The only way that you're going to change it is to let it sit there. Stop hauling this cheap ass shit. Let it sit there.
So
Adios.
Completely understand where this guy's coming from. Only issue is it will never work. It will never work because, like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's just too many trucks on the road. If he, for example, refuses to run and says, I'm not going to run until I get this much guaranteed, he might as well just sell his truck. Because there's just so many people out here. It's a race to the bottom when it comes to the race. If you don't want to run, they'll find somebody else like that. It's not even a concern to them. Like, everybody would pretty much have to band together and say that we're not going to run these cheap loads anymore. So that obviously is never going to happen unless there's some type of organized effort. But this is, this people's livelihood on the line. So, and this is what they do. So, it's just not plausible. Next video that I wanted to play, it's centered around the same topic, but I want you to pay very close attention because this is something that is going to, if you're a driver, this is going to have an effect on you 100%. Whether or not we can feel the effects, or if we will feel the effects of tariffs in a major way in these next couple months, I don't know. But this, you got to pay close attention to, because this is something that you'll notice and that's going to be going down soon. So let's take a look at it.
You guys thought that the job market was cooked before? Just realize that in the last 100 days, 300,000 Americans have lost their jobs. That is larger than the population of Pittsburgh. Now imagine the entire population of Pittsburgh looking for work simultaneously. UPS, Intel, Amazon, the federal government have announced massive layoffs across the board. Like I said, it's not just the private sector. One of the biggest things affecting this is 121,000 federal employees losing their job over the last 100 days. And because of the tariffs, they're saying that over the next few months, literally millions of workers could be losing their jobs. That's truck drivers, port workers, warehouse workers, import-export agents. And for anybody who has been looking for a job over the last couple of years, they will tell you that it is incredibly difficult right now to find any sort of meaningful work, especially in the field in which you studied. But it is only going to get more difficult because as millions, potentially millions of newly unemployed Americans hit the job market at the same time as AI is replacing people, it is going to be almost impossible. And let me tell you, one of the biggest factors is going to be those 121,000 and climbing federal employees who have been laid off, because they are typically highly trained, highly skilled, highly educated. They've got like PhDs, they've got master's degrees. These people, and they're not going to just be looking in their field, guys. Let me tell you, in 2009, when the financial collapse hit, people switched jobs all over but they switched careers like crazy. Dude, I was working in a restaurant and there were people with master's degrees coming in to serve tables. People will become real estate agents. People will become teachers. Anything that they can do to survive. So if you think that your job is going to be okay, you're going to be just fine, let me tell you right now, it is going to get incredibly competitive.
Yeah, guys, so he's basically spitting 100% facts, right? So there's a couple things to break down here. First of all, the displaced truckers, let's just talk about the displaced truckers from ports, right? Them alone being out of a job, you can almost guarantee that they're not going to switch careers entirely. They're coming to drive in, and that is a lot of workers. I mean, I feel like it's about, when you're looking on the interstate, there's about, I don't know, probably, if we're being honest, about 70% drive-in or flatbed, and then the other 30 is intermodal, right? So that is a lot of truckers coming into the market. We already kind of talked about the ripple effects when a lot of new drivers come into the market. There's even more capacity meaning more trucks on the road ready to take loads. That means, the shippers, we could even charge less now because there's even more options. So that is going to have a ripple effect. And the displaced veterans, of course. So now I do know a couple people personally who have lost their job very close to me. And everybody knows CDL, whether it's like you lose your job, you're getting out of jail, you just move into the country. That is the first industry that people look at for whatever reason. I mean, it's just because, it's guaranteed money, it's a guaranteed paycheck. And it's something that most people, most people can do, drive a truck, and people just kind of use that as their fallback method. So this is 100% true. Not only is it true, it's going to happen. We're already seeing it happen. These intermodal drivers, they're going to be coming over dry van, flatbed, and that is going to have a ripple effect again, of course, despite whatever happens with the tariffs, actually. So that is, I just wanted to show this one because this is something that is definitely going to affect us all in a big way. So yeah. I just want to apologize for how slow I'm talking in this video. I'm editing it right now and I'm just listening to myself. It's terrible, it's unbearable. I'm gonna pick up the pace in the next video. I don't rehearse the videos before I shoot them. I probably should start, but yeah, I'm sorry about that. Next one will be a little bit quicker. All right, so trying my best to not make the video political. I know that, you know, the trucking industry is more right-leaning. Now, I didn't vote, so, you know, I can't say that I'm a Trump supporter. Now, I do think, if you were to ask me, I think the president's intentions are pure. As far as the execution has gone, it's been a little bit sloppy. The one concern that I do have with him is that, because I've read his books, you know, and it does seem like, I know, like, he read his books, so what, right? But it seems like he is really approaching this tariff thing as another deal. And it can get shaky, and it is shaky right now. My only concern with that is, you know, Trump, he's a guy that seemingly he does not really take in, what am I trying to say here? He's willing to let the working class suffer if he believes that in the long run, it will boost the economy, I guess, right? So obviously he sees everything that is going on right now, and he's so deep into the point where I don't think he's really going to back off. And I think that he is willing to let things get rough before they get better, is what I'm trying to say. But that leaves all of us to fend for ourselves, okay? Now, do I think he has a plan? I do think he has a plan. Do I think he has everything under control right now? Not really. But I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, guys. So I just wanted to make this video because I feel like everybody needs to be aware that there's some changes to be expected, right? Company driver, owner operator, driver manager, you know, there's some changes to be expected, and everybody kind of needs to be adaptable and just aware right now. Okay, so when do I think things are gonna smooth out? Because my opinion matters so much, right? I think, honestly, I do not imagine it getting, let me see, if I had to say, and obviously I have no idea, but if I had to say, I don't think it'll be this bad. If this is, you know, the worst that's going to get, where that's still, we've yet to see. I don't see it being this bad for more than a year. Like I said, I mean, that's conjecture on my part, but I just don't imagine that, you know, logistics can be impacted in a way, because, you know, this is the backbone of America. So I don't know. We're still yet to see, but I'm very hopeful that this is just a little bump in the road, and that we'll you know, get back to normal, or maybe even better. But yeah, yo, that's really it for this video. Hopefully I didn't piss nobody off. But I really just wanted this to be more like a conversation, just sharing some thoughts, because, you know, people are they're panicking right now. And, you know, I know this is a tough time, so I just wanted to get something out there. But if you got any type of value out of this, make sure you like, subscribe. I'm gonna see you on the next one, man. Go on.